Hello and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more Democracy 3 Africa, playing as Egypt. So last year we got re-elected, huzzah! And a few things did shift around when we go ahead and pull up the, the Foreign Liberation Movement. What did happen? Let's see. Is this it? Yes, there it is. Okay. Asthma epidemic came to an end, foreign intelligence interference came to an end, the rail strike came to an end, finally. And we got residential credit facilities, which basically means our financial sector and our stability is high enough that banks feel like they can issue credit out to people in the form of credit cards, which I don't think necessarily has a very good effect on the poor, but capitalists certainly love it. And the GDP will go up eventually, although I think poverty goes up as well. Yeah, some citizens will find their debt becomes unmanageable, driving them into poverty. Yeeks. Yeah, it'll be fine, I'm sure. No problem. So, we have a special event here, Foreign Liberation Movement. Rebel forces from a neighboring country are seeking sanctuary. We've seen this event before, back when we did Ghana. So, do we harbor some people, some rebels against an authoritarian regime? Or do we deny them? Why on earth would we jeopardize our trade and stability in order to topple a dictator? We bring those liberal freedom lovers into our country, they might try to topple me next. No, deny. There we go. We got a surplus of about 40 billion pounds per quarter right now, which isn't too bad. The economy, the global economy, I should say, is in a recession right now, though, which is just a little bit concerning, but all right. So, what events do we have left? We have the unproductive economy. Oh, I'm sorry, the uncompetitive economy is actually about to go away. Oh, nice. We're in such good shape right now. All right, so this is about to go away, which means we're going to see a bump in the GDP. Nice. Civil unrest or civil uprising should be going away as well, which is very nice. Military interference. It's taken a surprisingly long time to tick down. Not that we really care that much. If the military's interfering, fine, it just reduces our democracy, which actually suits my purposes, so... One could argue that we actually want to increase our military spending and ensure that the military interferes as much as possible, but... No, we're not going to do that. We'll let this go away. We're going to try to get rid of all the red events if we can. Female genital mutilation is going down. It's taking a while, but it is happening. And we do have border tensions, which is still maxed out and has not taken a single dip. And that is because our foreign relations are abysmal. They are starting to go up a little bit thanks to the compulsory language lessons, though. We'll see if that has much of an effect at all. Be nice if it did. We actually should consider investing some more in foreign relations. We got 39.5 billion pounds per quarter. You know what I think we can afford to do? Let's go ahead and do some foreign aid. Foreign aid is a very good way to spend money in order to get foreign relations way up there. Let's try it. Now, Patriots don't like this at all. Oh well, 27.63%. I mean, that's pretty drastic right there, but foreign relations goes up by 55.27%. That's a lot. So yeah, I feel like this is going to work out pretty well for us. Let's do that, exactly that. Sure, why not? What else is affecting our foreign relations? That would be this one. Let's see. Detention without trial, corporal punishment use, torture usage. Yeah, those all make sense. Child labor. Child labor. Why do we still have child labor in Egypt? Should we get rid of this? Maybe we should. That does take away a little bit of the GDP. If we were to ban it, we would lose 3.17% of the GDP. But do we want that sector of our economy built on the labor of children? The backs of children? No, I think not. Of course, by banning this, we're actually making the poor and the rural unhappy, because they rely upon children in order to provide for them, their families, but, or at least in part. But it would increase our education and our foreign relations. Yeah, alright. I think the youth actually would like it more. Can hardly tell. Yeah, it goes up. I think this is fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and ban child labor. Absolutely. Now, other things that we can do. I did consider increasing the armed police. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, that would actually reduce our civil uprising a bit more. Now, you may be wondering, why is that relevant to me? Because the civil uprising is about to go away completely, isn't it? Well, yeah. The thing is, once this is gone, I'd like to start getting rid of some curfews and, you know, maybe torture and stuff in order to improve my foreign relations. So, armed police is a pretty easy way to reduce civil uprising more. And even though this is going to go away and I can't see it, it is still going on in the background. It'll be down here or so after armed police. So, you know, yeah, it's a pretty carefree way of making sure that the civil uprising does not come back. Basically, that's what I'm worried about. I'm worried about it coming back like a bad penny. Just like pollution, which you know is going to come back. It always does. But alright. It's going to cost us just a little bit more money, but I think we can afford it. Sure, armed police. Done. So uncompetitive economy is going to go away. That will improve the GDP a fair bit. Civil uprising, foreign relations, foreign investment, international trade. It seems like only good things can happen once this is gone, right? So yeah. All right, let's move on to the next turn then. High productivity has developed. Nice. That's like the exact opposite of the uncompetitive economy. Now we're super competitive because we're very productive. Cool. Civil uprising is at an end. GM food proposal. A large number of large agricultural companies are interested in growing genetically modified food. Monsanto. We're going to allow it. I don't think it's as good for the environment, or maybe not even necessarily for health either, but it does mean that the poor should have access to cheap food. It may not be the healthiest food, but it's better than starving, so yeah. What the crap? There's a budget deficit of 80 billion. Why is there a budget deficit of 80 billion? Holy crap! Where'd that come from? Wait a minute. Our income plummeted. Why? Our GDP has gone up. So we have more taxable income. Wait. Foreign aid, that's expenditure, not income. Child labor. I mean, that's GDP, but our GDP still went up. Armed police. Uncompetitive economy. These all improve the GDP. What does high productivity do? Self-employed income. No, this is generally good. So why did our income drop? Income tax. I don't know, actually. That's a really good question. Why did our income drop? These wouldn't hurt my income, nor would these. Foreign liberation movement. I don't feel like denying the rebels would have affected our income. I have no idea why this went down, but now we're in the hole. Is that a bug? I'm not going to do anything about it yet. Maybe next turn it will correct itself and we'll be fine. That's really concerning, though. Huh. Alright, well, other things we can do, though, that I had been planning on for this year would include regional integration and tariffs. And I'm not going to do a lot of this. It's going to cost me 30 points, but I think that's fine. We're not going to do much with this. We're going to leave it kind of as it is, kind of in the middle of the road here. This will improve our foreign relations. Immigration goes up a little bit. I don't want it to be too much, but that's okay. International trade is good. Dictatorship goes down, though. Well, you know what? I actually don't know what this means. Dictatorship goes down, but if dictatorship is at 0, we're a full dictator, instead of at dictatorship 100. So this actually solidifies us more as a dictator, which is good, I think. Well, maybe not. No, I'm not sure. Our government's political power is reduced to displeasing patriotic voters. I'm actually not sure how that works. I think this is actually going to solidify our dictatorship, but I could be wrong. It's happened before. Liberals, capitalists, patriots, conservatives. Mostly we care about the foreign relations and international trade because we are going to try to get rid of the border tensions. I'm going to leave it in the middle, though. Middle seems pretty decent. We are also going to pass some new car subsidies because that is a GDP booster for a little bit of money. Motorists like it. Oil demand goes down because these are new, nicer cars that are more gas efficient. Car usage goes up, CO2 emissions goes down, the environment goes up, the GDP goes up. This is one of those few ways to make everyone happy and do only good things for money. So yeah, why not? Let's do exactly that. We will also try to improve our health a little bit. We can do that by doing Food Standards Agency. That's not too bad overall. Why not? Rural people don't like it because it does affect their ability to farm, but the liberals like it, which I don't care about, but mostly we care about the fact that health goes up. At maximum cost of £350 million per quarter, health goes up by 3.65%. That is a pretty good deal for the amount of money that we are spending, and really the only downside is it makes the rural unhappy. But there is a good way to get around that, and that would be to, instead of having people farm out in the rural areas, why don't we bring the farms into the cities? There we go. Farmers markets, basically. Why not bring farmers to the cities directly? Sure. Cost me a little bit of money, but the rural people like it, and their membership goes up, so basically this is going to be a wash. We're going to have better rural membership. They won't like me or dislike me, but we will have more health. It's a bit of a roundabout way to do things, I know. Cost me about $1 billion in total, but why not? Seems okay. We only have 5 points left, though. So is this 80 billion deficit going to go away? Because I really am not sure why my income plummeted as much as it did. We should have gotten some massive GDP boosters that would have increased my taxable income. Oil wealth just came back. Also, opposition members persecuted. Ooh. That's scary. So this spiked up for some reason, and then came back down. It's going to go away pretty soon, I imagine. Oil drilling opportunity. When did I do this? This was a while ago, wasn't it? Can't remember for sure. It doesn't actually do anything that I really care about. It increases my oil supply, but mostly just upsets other people and reduces the environment. I mean, I don't care about this. It's not that useful to me anymore, so I'm okay with it going away, but I'm not sure why it came back in the first place. Everything's getting screwy. Look at this, the budget deficit is still here. It's a little bit better, 52.5 billion, but it's still huge. I'm not sure what happened. I don't think it's because the global economy is in a recession. I mean, it is, but still. Huh. That is really, really weird. Why do we have 93 political capital? Holy crap. Our leader just generated a ton. I'm pretty sure that actually has something to do with the opposition members persecuted. Pretty sure that does something. Flagrantly undemocratic abuse has been met with condemnation at home and abroad. But I think the fact that we just oppressed the opposition means that we actually have a little bit more power. I'm not sure. I've seen this happen before in a couple of my own side playthroughs, and it seems that every time I get this event, I get a spike in political capital. I'm not sure why that happens. I have to imagine it's intentional. Why don't we go ahead and try to get some money back because I can't live with this deficit. I'm going to increase taxes. How much do we want to increase it? 45%? It's another 10% of taxes. Whew! Pay your tithe unto me! The middle income will be very unhappy, but otherwise it's not a big deal. Yep. More money for me. More money. Now, let's see. We did get rid of the competitive economy. We do have high productivity. It's actually pretty good. So one thing I do want to do now that we have very good productivity and I'm not worried about that event is I want to change up the labor laws. They're a little bit too pro-employer. I'm not sure I want to go, like, all the way to pro-union or anything. Certainly not. The working week is working to my advantage right now, but I want to higher than this because this will increase wages. So what if we move it to, let's say, about here. This seems pretty good. Yeah, I like it. The working week does go down a little bit, but we're more balanced at least. Productivity doesn't go down enough that I should lose my high productivity event, so we're pretty good. And wages will go up, which is good for pretty much everyone involved. Democracy also goes up. But I'm sure we can oppress some people and get that back down, right? Absolutely we can. Why don't we get more taxes? I'm actually going to pass a capital gains tax. I wasn't sure I was going to do this, but yeah, let's actually do it. Now, I don't want it to be too high. Yeah, this is a little bit too high. Just have a very modest one of like 15%. It's 30% lower than the income tax, so it's still very advantageous for the wealthy to invest in our economy as another source of income. Equality goes up a little bit. The high earnings go down. All right, fine. GDP goes down a tiny little bit, but we will make an extra 12.4 billion. Socialism membership I don't care about. All in all, it's okay. It's just going to make me a bit more money. Every few billion pounds will count, after all. So yeah, I'll do that. Now we need to consider some of the civil uprising stuff, because I did say I want to get rid of that, right? How are we looking as far as foreign relations? Wow, it's actually ticking up a lot. Well, this didn't help, but yeah, between the foreign aid still implementing and the regional integration and tariffs, this is actually going to go up a lot, I think. We're going to skyrocket in the foreign relations, which means in time, border tensions should go away. So all right, well, let's see if we can help that along a little bit, because that will help with foreign investments and international trade and so on. We don't have to be quite as harsh on our citizens as we were previously. What if we, like, reduce the torture usage? That's not a bad idea, right? Do I want to get rid of it entirely? Yeah, that's a little bit much, though. Democracy goes up a lot, which I don't want. It would improve foreign relations a lot, though. What if we just did something like this? Just barely on the low side. So democracy goes up most of the way, blah, blah, blah. But foreign relations goes up by about 18%? 18 to 19%. That's not bad. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to have torture in Egypt, but not much. Not as much as we used to. And that's what happens. citizens when you fall in line and do what I say. I won't, shove bamboo sprouts under your nails as often as I did before. On occasion, when I'm feeling a little bit moody, but not as often as before. So we're rewarding your good behavior. In fact, let's also move along with reducing curfews. There it is. Now, I could get rid of this, but I actually don't know. I kind of like some of its effects. It does reduce democracy, which solidifies me more as a dictator. The everyone thing is what bothers me more than anything else. But if I reduce it to, let's say, just halfway, 1 a.m. to 3 a.m., there's a 2-hour span where you are not allowed to go out because, only bad things can happen between the hours of 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. I'm pretty sure that's actually a rule somewhere. The GDP effect goes away entirely, and we still are maintain our dictator status a little bit. Yeah, I'm okay with this. That's not too bad. We're not going to get rid of the curfews. We'll just reduce it. Again, rewarding good behavior. Alright, we have 12 political capital left. You know something I wouldn't mind doing? I want to get rid of this. The capital equipment subsidies, it's costing me a lot of money. 13.7 billion is a lot. And we're getting practically nothing out of it. Like, look at this. It's pathetic. I also don't want urbanism. Yeah, no. Why don't we just get rid of this entirely? It only costs me 10 political capital. We can get rid of the capital equipment subsidies, and we will save a lot of money. The GDP will go down by 1%. It's like, it's no big deal. In order to save that much money, absolutely. Worth it. Totally worth it. Cancel. There we go. We're flip-flopping a little bit from our previous positions. I acknowledge this. But it's okay. It's okay. I know what I'm doing. Let's move on to the next turn. This will be the last turn for year 5. An oil price spike. A sharp increase in global demand for oil has caused its price to spike. That actually will be really good for my oil wealth. The pump price of fuel has skyrocketed, resulting in a backlash from car owners and businesses alike. The cost of a fuel subsidy to alleviate the situation will cost $600 million. Do nothing. I want that money. My people can suffer, and the higher the prices, the higher my percentage of tax will be on petrol. So we're going to do nothing. What's this? I've actually never seen this before. Transshipment hub. Really high international trade and good infrastructure. Increases the GDP? Capitalist and trade unionist. Wow, this is great. Well, dang. I like it. International trade is good. Cool. So basically, you're using the Suez Canal, is what's happening. And we are getting a little bit of a cut every time people use us as a hub. Nice. We have a surplus now of 35.1 billion. How quickly we turn things around. When you're a dictator, you don't care. Just pass a few policies, raise a few taxes. The plebeians can suffer. 99% of the vote. I mean, they're suffering, but they don't even care. They're still going to vote for me. Very good. Very, very good. So, what do we want to do this turn? Not a lot that I really care about, honestly. Let's pass and look through some of these policies here. Welfare. Not that good. Economy. Mandatory microgeneration. I mean, I am kind of worried that we're going to get pollution back. Maybe we should try to make some efforts to keep the environment really strong. Because as the GDP is skyrocketing, and you know it is, pollution might come back. Can we possibly stave this off? Maybe. Alright, let's go for mandatory microgeneration. We are going to force every person to generate solar power or wind power or something. That's a requirement. It won't even cost me a lot. It's just going to be very unpopular. Yeah, why not? 21.7 million. The environment goes up. It's very cheap. Capitalists don't like it, though. Environmentalists do. Oil demand, CO2 emissions. These aren't even bad. It's just the capitalists don't like it. That's fine. And because we are putting a huge burden on our citizens, why don't we go ahead and also pass the microgeneration grants? That's a bit more expensive. But at least we're making it a lot easier for people to generate that power for me. The environment will go up. This is a far more expensive way to do so, but alright. CO2 emissions goes down, energy efficiency goes up. This is pretty good. And environmentalist income goes up. Well, considering most people are environmentalists, this will actually affect like 90-something% of my population, I think. Actually, I take it back. Environmentalist membership is shockingly low. Huh. You know, I actually thought that it was higher than this, considering how many things we've passed. I guess a lot of them are still implementing. Wow. Alright, not a lot of people actually care about the environment, but who cares? They love me. And now they're going to make more money. So, go do that. Why not? Patriots are happy, but their membership has gone down a lot. Racial tension is really low, so there's not a lot of patriots. Foreign relations. You know one thing we can do? Why don't we pass, law and order, transport... How much political capital do we have? 15? We have 15 left. Alright, well, forget the Patriots. Some of the stuff I had in mind is a little too expensive. I was thinking, like, you know, national anthem in schools and stuff like that, but how about legal aid? Legal aid costs some money, but ultimately just makes people happy. Including some people I don't usually make happy, so why not? Liberals, poor, socialist, equalities, and poor earnings. Doesn't cost a lot of money, but it just buys the favor of some people. It's not too bad. We only have 2 political capital left, though, so I think we are going to have to end this video here. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Democracy 3 Africa, playing as Egypt and Year 5. If you enjoyed this video, then hit that like button, leave a comment, and try to figure out why I lost my income, because it's completely beyond me. And of course, subscribe for my future content. My name has been Pravus, and I will see you guys next time.